I never believed a person could steal your life without touching your bank accounts, without holding a weapon, without even raising their voice. I thought identity theft happened online or through stolen credit cards. But what happened to me wasn't digital. It was personal. It was slow. It was intentional. And it almost destroyed everything I ever built. This is the story of how my neighbor, a quiet, smiling woman living just across the hall, tried to replace me, piece by piece, until I could barely recognize my own reflection. If I hadn't opened my mailbox that morning, if I hadn't followed my instincts, I wouldn't be here telling this story. It began 3 years ago. I lived in a calm apartment complex in a peaceful part of town, the kind of place where people nodded politely at each other but rarely interacted. I liked the silence. I liked minding my business. I liked the simplicity. Then one afternoon, I heard footsteps in the hallway, boxes sliding, and a cheerful voice saying, "Hi, are you my new neighbor?" That was the first time I met Clara. She was friendly, too friendly, the type who maintained eye contact just a second longer than comfortable, but I brushed it off. People express warmth differently. Within minutes she asked, "So what do you do for a living? Do you live alone? How long have you been here? Any close family nearby?" Her questions were fast, sharp, too specific. But again, I ignored it. Everyone deserves a chance, right? If only I knew that meeting her was the beginning of the slow unraveling of my peace. It started small. Tiny things that felt harmless. One morning, I stepped out wearing a cream sweater. 3 days later, Clara stepped out wearing an identical one. Coincidence? I bought a pair of dark blue sneakers. A week later, she had the same pair down to the same shoelace pattern. Odd. Then she showed up at the small coffee shop I visited every morning, even though it was completely out of her way. "Oh, I figured I'd try your spot," she'd say with a wide smile. But she didn't just try it. She made it her daily routine. My barista even joked one morning, "She orders exactly what you order, down to the milk foam." I laughed it off, but inside something twisted. It felt like someone was stepping into my shadow. Clara began showing up at my job. Not once, not casually, frequently. She would walk in, pretending to be in the neighborhood, and then hang around, chatting like we were old friends. Soon enough, people in my office assumed we were close. A coworker even asked, "Is she your cousin? You two act the same." No, we absolutely did not. But somehow, she had inserted herself into the narrative of my life. Next, she befriended my actual friends. She followed them online, commented on their posts, sent them messages. One of my closest friends said, "She's cool, but she talks about you a lot, like she knows you deeply." I felt a chill, because she didn't. But she clearly wanted to. The first red flag slapped me on a Wednesday morning. My bank emailed me about a declined attempt to apply for a personal loan. A loan I never applied for. Then came emails confirming online shopping accounts I never created. Packages started arriving at my door. I didn't order them, but the name on the box was mine. At first, I assumed it was an online scam. Until one day, a package was delivered to Clara's apartment, but addressed to me. The delivery guy apologized. "Oh, sorry, you two have very similar details." Similar details? Why would he think that? My mind started connecting dots I wasn't ready to face. The real horror began when my bank called. "Ma'am, we need to verify a large purchase made in your name." My stomach dropped. I hadn't made any purchase. After hours of frantic calls, I learned someone had been trying to access my accounts, piece by piece. Someone who had my full name, my email, my address, my date of birth. But how? Then I remembered something chilling. Clara had once casually asked, "When's your birthday? Mine's coming up soon." I had told her. I had given her enough. But it got worse. One night, while taking out the trash, I saw something in the recycling bin outside Clara's door. An envelope with my name on it torn open. My mail. A wave of nausea hit me. She was stealing my mail. Stealing my information. Stealing me. I started noticing her staring at me through the peephole when I walked past. Her eyes would flicker through the slit of her barely open door. One night, I caught her standing in the parking lot next to my car, running her hand along the hood like she owned it. When she saw me, she waved awkwardly and quickly walked away. A few days later, she showed up with the exact same car. Same color, same model, same license plate pattern. That wasn't an accident. That was mimicry. Pure obsession. And then she crossed a line I never imagined. It was a cold, silent night. I came home late from work, exhausted only to find something off. My bedroom door was slightly open. I never left it open. My perfume bottle had moved. The closet door wasn't closed fully. And on my bed, a strand of hair that wasn't mine. I felt my chest tighten. Someone had been inside my home. I checked every room, trembling, panicked, terrified. When I opened my wardrobe, my knees nearly gave way. Some of my clothes were missing. And the worst part, a shoe print on my carpet. Not mine. Not a stranger's. I recognized the pattern. It matched Clara's blue sneakers. The same one she bought after copying mine. She had been inside my house, wearing my clothes, pretending to be me. I confronted her the next morning. She acted shocked, concerned, confused. "I would never do such a thing," she cried. But her eyes were cold, dead, unmoving. It wasn't denial. It was performance. I reported her to the police. They shrugged it off. "She's just a strange neighbor. Keep your doors locked." But things escalated. Fast. Clara started telling people I was unstable. She told my landlord I was forgetful and paranoid. She told my coworkers I had emotional issues. She tried to poison my reputation the same way she tried to steal my identity. She became me publicly, while trying to make me disappear privately. Everything changed when I did something extreme. I followed her. One afternoon when she left the building, I trailed behind her discreetly. She walked into a quiet library, sat at a computer, and logged into a social media account. With my name, my photos, my bio, my life. But the profile wasn't mine. She was pretending to be me online, messaging people as me, building relationships as me, living as me. My stomach twisted with pure fear. I took photos of everything, screenshots, evidence, and then something even more horrifying happened. As she typed, I watched the screen update with information she shouldn't have known. My mother's middle name, my old address, my first job. Information I never told her. Information she could have only gotten from my apartment. She had been entering my home long before I realized it. I took the evidence to the police. This time they listened. They got a warrant to search Clara's apartment. What they found still haunts me. In her closet was a box labeled with my name. Inside, copies of my mail, printed pictures of me, screenshots of my social media, a notebook filled with details about my daily habits, my missing clothes, my old toothbrush, a key she duplicated from my lock, a list titled, "Things to Be to Become Her." My heart shattered. Her obsession wasn't random. It was planned, deliberate, meticulous. She wasn't trying to ruin my life. She was trying to replace me. Clara was arrested, not for copying me, not for being creepy, but for identity theft, mail fraud, unlawful entry, harassment. Even after everything, she didn't look ashamed. She smiled at me as they took her away. Not a normal smile. A smile that said, "You took what should have been mine." Those words still echo in my nightmares. It took months for me to feel safe again. I moved, changed my number, changed my email, changed my locks, changed my life. But trauma lingers. Every time someone stands too close behind me, I tense up. Every time I hear footsteps outside my door, I freeze. Every time I see a pair of blue sneakers, my heart skips. But I survived. And I'm finally able to share this story. Because what happened to me taught me something important. Sometimes the people who admire you the most don't want to be like you. They want to be you. And you never know who is watching your life, wishing it was theirs.